What's up? Plitty Sports Gamer here, and I got an article on Microsoft and how Game Pass cannibalizes sales of games that are on the Game Pass service. So let's look at this article. Microsoft issues comment on Xbox Game Pass cannibalizing game sales. Claim by Xbox head Phil Spencer that Game Pass would not cannibalize game sales may not be true, according to a report out of UK stemming from investigations of Microsoft Activision Blizzard acquisition. Microsoft has released a statement rebutting the report's findings. Let's just step back a little. Microsoft probably looked at Netflix and how they've added so many people to the subscription to watch stream shows and movies. It is not about sales of movies, sales of shows for Netflix, obviously. It's about adding users to its service to have that steady flow of income monthly from people paying Netflix to be a part of the subscription to watch shows and movies anytime they want. Netflix, in turn, has spent boatloads of money adding movie rights, show rights, have developed movies, has developed a ton of shows, as you can see if you go to Netflix, in an attempt to add more people to the subscription service and to keep them there. That's all Netflix cares about, is adding people to their service. And it's worked for the most part. Yes, they spend a ton of money. Yes, there's going to be some years revenues are down, but they made a boatload of money and they keep on spending money. So in turn, Microsoft saw that and they said, well, let's start a Game Pass service to get a steady flow of income to play games anytime people want and have a ton of games available to their service. Surprise to me, they've added a lot. Some say 25 to 30 million subscribers, but it was not as successful as I thought it would be. I thought it would be a lot more successful. So that's why you're seeing Microsoft buying up these publishers to add the games to their service so they could get more quality games on their service under their dime, under their control, to get more people to subscribe to Game Pass and get that steady flow of income. Game sales are a one-time thing. You release a game, it sells for a particular period of time, and that's it. Then you have to create another game, and it takes time to do that. So Microsoft thought, let's just add a ton of games to a service and get a steady flow of income. $15 per person, mostly. I'm assuming a lot of the people are doing the Ultimate Game service. I am a part of that. I do that. To get a steady flow of income instead of trying to release big-time games once a quarter or more to get a ton of money. And now you're seeing PlayStation fire back because of this Activision Blizzard acquisition. So Game Pass is Microsoft video games subscription service, often referred to the Netflix of gaming. In 2018, soon after Game Pass launched, CEO of Microsoft Gaming, Phil Spencer, claimed that Game Pass would increase sales of games that are available both on Game Pass and sold at traditional retailers. Spencer theorized that word of mouth about game available on Game Pass would influence players who are not subscribed to a service, leading to increased sales from non-Game Pass players. That's especially true, I think, for these small-time game publishers, these small-time independent gamers. For these independent game companies releasing the games to get more people to play their game. And in turn, I think it will definitely increase sales of that game big time. And it's like these big time games like the Grand Theft Auto, the Halos, like the big time games where it's going to be a reverse effect. You see it on Game Pass, you're not going to buy it as much as you would if it was just standalone. So in that turn, it's going to hurt game sales. Game Pass is going to hurt game sales for those huge games, but it helps for the little games, the AA or the single A games from these game companies trying to get the game out there to as most people as possible. So it helps them, but it hurts the big time games. A provisional report from the UK's Competition and Market Authority found that the opposite might be true. After analyzing internal Microsoft documents, the CMA found an unspecified % decline in base game sales in the year following Game Pass addition to Game Pass. I wonder which games they saw though. Are they just looking at the big time AAA games or are they looking at every game? My thinking is they're just looking at big time AAA games. An Xbox representative countered by suggesting the game creators that make the game available on Game Pass are compensated fairly for their work and are allowed room for creativity and innovation that statement does not directly reference Game Pass' impact on overall base game sales. Again, if you're an independent game company, single A, double A, this makes total sense. And you've seen that. If you look at Game Pass, it's littered with these games. There's more of these little games than it is these big time games, in my opinion. And that's what I don't like. Soon after Game Pass launched in 2017, some wondered if subscription model would hinder traditional game sales, and it seemed impossible that it couldn't. When a game is made available as part of a service with millions of subscribers who all have instant access to a game, sometimes from the day of release, logic dictates that those millions of subscribers would play the game without paying the full retail price. And that's definitely true for big time games. I'm one of them. I don't buy games. I hardly buy games. I definitely don't buy games at full price. I wait till they go to like $20 or less. Except for I bought Call of Duty for $55 this time, thinking it would help my channel, but I did some videos earlier in my channel's life and it didn't really pan out as I thought it would, so I haven't been releasing videos lately, but that might change. But then again, my point is, I'm one of those people that don't pay for games at full retail price. I wait till it comes on a streaming service. I have both Game Pass and I have PlayStation Plus Extra, and I wait for games to be released on there. Or I wait till the game gets to $20 or less. So I'm one of those people that this report dictates. I really don't think that's true for everyone. I think people will pay for full price or price close to full price to play these big time games that are going on Game Pass. Microsoft claimed that those millions of subscribers would then cause enough excitement about the game outside its Game Pass ecosystem that would influence others to buy the game has not borne out, according to the CMA's findings. And the CMA is gonna go against Xbox. They're gonna go against Microsoft because they don't want this acquisition to go through for some reason. Sony has gut to them, and they're trying to darn us to not make this Activision Blizzard acquisition go through. So they're gonna hand out these reports going against Microsoft, claiming that Game Pass is not good for games, because you all know that as soon as this Activision Blizzard acquisition goes through, that these Call of Duties are gonna be on Game Pass, Diablo on Game Pass, all these big games are gonna be on Game Pass. So this report is a little biased that is gonna go against Microsoft. While the CMA's report does admit to limitations in data tracking, of course they do. They're limited not to the smaller games, they're limited to the big time games. Xbox itself, its own internal documents have determined that a game added to Game Pass would indeed lead to cannibalization of digital sales. Here is the full Microsoft statement. Xbox Game Pass offers gamers and game creators more choice and opportunity in how they discover, experience, and deliver games. For gamers, that means providing another option for them to discover games and play with friends at great value. For developers, that means creating another option for how they monetize their games. We're focused on helping game creators of all sizes maximize the total financial value they receive through Game Pass. Each game is unique, so we work closely with creators to build a custom program to reflect what they need, ensure they are compensated financially for their participation in the service, and allow room for creativity and innovation. As a result, the number of developers interested in working with Game Pass continues to grow. Microsoft internal documents indicate that Activision was not a big fan of having its games available on Game Pass for this very reason. Obviously, they don't want it on Game Pass. They want to sell as much as they can, as long as they can. They don't want games on Game Pass. But when Microsoft acquires them, they will be on Game Pass. Should the acquisition deal go through, Spencer has promised that Activision Blizzard games like Diablo and Overwatch will be available on Game Pass regardless. Overwatch is free anyway. The question then becomes whether publishers and developers with games on Game Pass are being compensated well enough to make up for the dip in sales. It should be noted that the data the CMA is working with is from 2018. Come on, light years away. That was big time in the past. Can they come up with numbers from like 2019, 2020, 2021? Things may have since changed, but data to the contrary arises when it seems Microsoft's claims do not hold water. And this article seems biased also, and seems like nobody likes Microsoft for some reason. So in the end, Microsoft really doesn't care about game sales. You never hear game sales when Microsoft puts out numbers. They put out players. They put out a number of players. That's all they care about. They want people to sign up for Game Pass. They really don't care about game sales. They want a stream of money, consistent every month, flowing into their pockets. and they will spend money to have games on Game Pass to get more and more people to sign up, to get more and more money consistently flowing. And I am one of them, and I'll still remain in Game Pass. I'm hoping for a big 2023 for Game Pass, and it seems like it's happening. Atomic Heart will be released, and I can't wait to play that game. And they got Wulong, and they got the big time Microsoft games hopefully coming with Redfall, Forza, and hopefully Starfield, but we'll see. So what do you guys think? Do you think Microsoft cares about the cannibalization of game sales? Or do you believe like me, they don't care about that at all? They just care about Game Pass subscribers. Please let me know in the comments below, and please subscribe, like. Thanks. See ya.